the difference between data types. What kind of list, tuple, set, and their respective properties. On the basis of hands-on practice, we will be prove their properties, right? जो ये green tick है और जो cross tick है, ये valid question कैसे हैं, right? We will elaborate a bit more on the basis of coding, how they are going to work while attending any IT interview. कोई भी IT कंपनी का इंटरव्यू अटेंड करने के टाइम पे दे विल आस्क टू प्रूव दिस प्रॉपर्टी, what exactly mutable means. So first we are going to ask, first question is, list is mutable or not? If it is mutable, so how? But before that we must understand what is list actually, right? So I'm going to define a variable. Suppose let's say I'm having a is equal to square bracket, and let's say age of my class, right? Let's say age is equal to 25 comma 27 comma 19 comma 30 comma, let's say 12. This is the age group in my class, right? I'm going to run this code and going to add one more value, and if I'm going to check the data type of this variable, I'll find the list. Of course, the list is the data type. Why? How compiler determine that this variable is consistent list? It's a number one, it's a consisting more than one values, right? You can create empty list also. Let's say I'm having empty list here, so I'm going to create that list also, right? Which is not consisting of any element. I can create even a single element inside this. Let's say I'm having only one candidate whose age is 87, right? So here I'm having only one candidate, but we had more than five, more than four aspirants. Those are having their respective age. So I'm having this container. Not only the age of the candidates, suppose I'm having a student, this student is, suppose their respective age, suppose their name, right? And their respective 603, right? And their, let's say their address. So their address is New Delhi, right? And let's say their pin code, so 243122, their pin code. Then I'm having more ingredient in my lunch box, right? So I'm having the, let's say I'm having their, its age, right? So I'm having age, let's say 25, right? So if I'm going to run this code, and of course if I'm going to run this student value, so we'll have the attributes of this value, right? So this is the feature or the fields of my given variable student, right? So I'm going to check the type. So of course this will be the type of my variable, right? Okay, so do we have any doubt from the previous session, previous code relevant to the any topic?
What is mutable?
I'll explain. I'll explain. I have not explained
Okay.
even a iota of these terms.
Okay.
I'll explain one by one.
Okay. Okay.
If it is not mutable, so what exactly? Why not? It's not immutable, right? Tuple is not mutable. What does it mean exactly? So I'll explain. But till now, I was explaining list because we had not introduced list in our session. So we had student, right? In the same student, suppose I'm having lunch box. So in my lunch box, my mom captured so many things, like she captured milk, right? She stored some, she sent some fruits, right? And then she added some one like 1.5 liter of water, right, along with my lunch box, right? Then I am having curd, along with this, right? So it's kind of lunchbox. The list is collection of different data types, right? Let's say I'm having two pieces of seeds. So it's kind of lunchbox where you have so many different pieces, right? But exactly what is mutable, right? And the question here, list is mutable or not, right? So what I'll do, I'll go for the lunch box. Inside the lunch box, I'm going to, right, suppose I'm going to print some particular values. Suppose I'm going to print 0. So what's the value of lunchbox 0? It's the first ingredient packed in my lunchbox. This is the order of this value. Milk is stored at index number 0. This is the first remarkable thing. Second things, if I add means likewise I'll print O2, so it will represent third value. If I'll get 3, 4, so it will print the last value, right? 2 liter or 2 sweets in my lunchbox, right? So this is the index number. But you can see here I am having banana, right? So banana is placed at 1 index number. So I'm going to give, instead of banana, I'm going to change. My mom thought about like banana will be crushed out or it won't be that fresh when I'll open in my lunch box 1 p.m. around. So she changed in my lunch box with the apple. So I'm going to run this code and will print the same list at the screen. So now as the fruit, once I'll open my lunch box, I'll get apple here. Instead of banana, I'm having apple here. Rest of the part is same, and this is changed or amended. This is called mutable, right? If I'm going to copy this term mutable, I'm going to the Google and going to the just simply mutable means. So liable to change. It means liable to change inconstant, which is not constant. What does it mean in mutable? So mutable subject to change or alteration, which can be altered, right? So list is mutable, which means you can change the element of your list anytime, anywhere, while using in your code in upcoming piece of code, upcoming functions, upcoming calling values, modules. You can change the values, right? Now we have the last elements. Let's say I'm having some lunchbox. Okay, so inside this lunchbox, suppose I am having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and I'm going to assign some, let's say, sweet, right? So I'm going to print the value again. We'll find the last element as sweet, right? So in the same iteration, right? So we can go for the next part. So next question is 1b is list ordered, right? Do we have any ordered in the list? So this is the second part. So we got the first solution. Did I answer the question? Yes, I answered the question. We can alter or we can mutable any list, right? So we know that list is mutable. That's correct. And you can prove by your coding itself, right? While giving your IT interview, that it can be altered, it can be changed. Elements can be changed in upcoming code itself, right? Even you can add more things also, right? Now we are going to print a list. Suppose in my lunch box, I'm going to check some ordered value. Let's say I'm checking 2 to 5, right? Can you see? I'm printing some 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So second value is excluded as we did in the for loop and while loop in range function, if you recall. So we have 0, 1, 2 starting from this third index till the second last index, right? Which means we have some orders inside the given content. It's not just randomly stored in the memory or not the differently is kept everywhere, randomly kept at the different location. No, they have certain orders. If you are going to write 0 to 5, so you will get all the elements. If you write 0 to 2, so we will have only two elements, 0, 1, 2 is excluded, right? So this is the meaning we have some ordered. Of course, we have some orders. You cannot go for different elements, right? We can go for minus indexing also. So minus 1, 2, this one, so you have minus 1 to last element. Actually, when you keep everything empty inside the square bracket and the colon, you will find first element till the last. If I'm saying 2 to 2 colon empty, I'm trying to say it starting from third index till last. So I'm going to run this one. Can you see this is showing third value to the last. Suppose I'm keeping the first value, keeping as an empty, and keeping a second value as 4. So which is denoting third index number. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So till curd it will be present represent and starting from the milk, because I am keeping first value empty, which means by default it will commence from the first index number. This is the illustration part of this indexing. And of course list is ordered, then only we are able to perform these practices. First, the third question is list indexing or slicing? Can we go for slicing of this part? Of course, we have already seen that the lunchbox can be partitioned into different pieces. I can go for 1 to 4. I can slice in small pieces. I can drag out from the second or fourth element. Of course, I can go for the only single element also, which means we have indexing and slicing. Fourth question, okay, let me go back to the chart. We have ordered, we have indexing, slicing, we have duplicate elements. Let's see, do we have duplicate elements in 1D? Is list contain does list contain duplicate elements, right? So let's check. So I'm going to assign card C, card V 0. So I'm going to assign this value and going to copy the list name. Just print out. Can you see the first and last item is same, which means you can keep duplicate element. It's not going to deny, right? We have difference value or same. Or let me make more changes here. Let's say 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to make it 2 also. So let me run this code again. Now you can see first, third, and last element are same, which means the last column is also justified. You can keep duplicate items in list also. Is this clear? Do we have any doubt, any kind of question till the list? Because we are going to move to the tuple. Okay, so any doubt, any question? Okay, so we do not have any doubt, which means we are good to go to the tuple. So first and foremost, we will discuss tuple, and then we will illustrate more about these questions, right? Like the first question will be, is tuple mutable? Of course, I'm going to comment this section. Okay, So first, talk about the tuple. Suppose I'm going to copy the same lunchbox value. So I'm going to copy the elements here, but the difference here is instead of square bracket, we have round bracket, right? And going to run this code, and then if I am going to print this element, it's going to represent all the value. Can you see now it's showing round bracket, right? But as contrast, if you will check the type of this data set, can you see now this time it's showing tuple, right? But previously it was showing list. So this is the remarkable thing, that by just giving the square bracket and round bracket, you can change the data type. This is the height of truth inside the Python, and ground truth where we are changing the data type on the basis of their brackets. Now, what does it mean when we are changing the brackets, when we are changing from list to tuples? Some properties are changed. So what these properties? This is not mutable. The very first property. So let me cross check, is list tuple? It's saying no, my chart is saying, but how can I justify using Python code? So I'm going to change my, okay, so lunchbox content from, let's say I'm going to change third element from the 1.5 to the 6.4. Can you see this error? Tuple object doesn't support item assignment, which means you cannot alter or you cannot change vary any performance inside the given certain value. Let me try another thing. 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to check third to something, let's say papaya. Is it allowing? No, it's not going to allow me. That you cannot change this item. So what does it mean? Where we can use the real world applications? Suppose you are creating railway reservation, and railway reservation is taken care by IRCTC. They have multiple charts for their passengers, for their commutators. They have prepared chart for S1, S2, S3 respectively. Their sheets and everything is given there. But we need some alteration. Is it allowed till the passenger is not deported at the departed at the destination? So is it should be allowed? No, it should not be allowed. No one can change the passenger's seat, otherwise the passenger will get confused, because it's written on my ticket that S3 27 birth number, but someone altered the list and it just goes to as 463. So that's totally illogical. You cannot change the reservation list. So this is the reason we are carefully using where tuple. So in this case, in this real world example, we are using tuple, not the list. Did you get this? Can you correlate now with the IRCT example? We cannot change passenger entire list from source to destination until unless train has not covered entire journey. Suppose किसी ट्रेन ने दिल्ली से स्टार्ट किया है, उसे चेन्नई तक जाना है, तो दिल्ली से चेन्नई तक का जितना रिजर्वेशन का टिकट है वो चेंज नहीं होना चाहिए. In that case, I'll use tuple instead of list, right? Because it is not allowed to change anything, right? So I'm going to cross check the second property of this list. This is the second property, is tuple ordered, right? So what does it mean? So we are going to check this lunchbox and try to print some number. So according to 1, it should be second number, right? Banana, right? Yes, it's giving that output, which means I can give that verdict that we have the second output as the desired value, right? By looking at the sheet itself, you can get the result. Can I get -1? Yes, of course, it will give the last element, because -1 means indexing is starting from the right hand side. So right hand, very right hand side, we have the first element. Suppose I am giving -2. So here we have curd. So -1, -2, right? That's the second element from the right hand side. Why not we are starting from 0? Because we have already given 0 to the first element. So we cannot give that kind of ambiguity in terms of index. So we are giving -1 number, right? Can I use for loop here? Yes, I can give for loop in any item. Suppose I'm having for E in lunchbox, and then I'm going to print that index value E. So can you see it's showing all the elements here? So as we have seen in the previous section, can I add end is equal to colon, give some space, so it will start printing in a same line. That's the bottom line here. And like you are printing all the elements, which is also justified that we have like ordered in the tuples, right? They are not randomly assigned or randomly stored in the memory. The third part we have can tuple contain duplicate elements or not, right? That's the question number third. So here we have third value. Let's say so I'm going to this one, and let me give these few elements twice, giving these elements twice at the end, and try to run this code. And let me print code C. Can you see it's showing all the respective values, not a unique values, not a single primary values, but showing all duplicate values, which is also justified the index number here. We can means we can contain duplicate elements inside the tuple, right? So we had given the like we tuple in. Okay, so we have not seen that indexing, but this question is also true. We can C can couple contain indexing. Yes, of course, we have seen that the given value can be represented from the first value till last, right? Here we have indexing value. And this was the fourth question, where we can contain duplicate elements inside the tuple. Now fourth, like third part of this section is set. Okay, so do we have any query till here? Let me check the in call messages. Do we have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so we are going to check set. So but before going to the set, I am going to copy this value where we have actually. Now I am going to change the braces. Instead of round or square bracket, I'm going to change this curly braces. So this will define the same data type as set. So this is the set value here. You can see we can go for the. So can I add something? So inside this list, I'm going to add some values. Let's say I'm going to add 6 here, right? And try to print some values. Can you see? Now it's added here, but you can see it's not added at the last, right? And also the milk, banana, curd, these elements are not showing in their respective orders. Also, they are not showing duplicate elements, they are showing unique elements. If you look at the, if you look very carefully at the output here, right, we do not have duplicate elements, we do not have same orders, we do not added the elements as per the predicted position. So we added 6 at the third position, which means it's giving their respective value. Now with the added function, we can go for some remove function also. Suppose I'm going to remove this one, and instead of 6 I'm going to remove some another value. So just going to print this value again. You will find this term is removed from my set, right? So this means we can add or we can remove something, right? This is justify this one mutable. We can add something, we can delete something. You have seen we just use remove function here. We just added one element here, which means we can mutable. Set is mutable, right? Set is changeable, set is alterable, right? You can go for this, but ordered is not. You have seen the output of this set. We do not have the matching order as per the define and the output, which means you cannot give. Suppose I'm giving any indexing number, let's say 2. Can you see the error on this side? Yes, of course, it's just because set doesn't support indexing, right? So what's the first question? 1a is set mutable. So yes, we have seen we just added things over here, added 6, remove something. So yes, it is mutable. It's 3.a. What's the second question here? 3.b question says, I'm going to ask, is set ordered? Do we have ordered in the set, right? So I'm going to print for e in given set, it enter print e. Can you see? We have certain values, right? Can you see? But it's giving some another values, right? But actually we have some milk, banana, something, but it's giving random elements, some another elements, right? Which is not defining as per my need, right? I had defined the lunchbox as per my need, but it's giving some random output here, which is justifying that you do not have that matching list here. All right.
Sir, it's not matching, but uh, the names are coming in order. No, no, it's not coming in order, but still, it should show error. No, that okay, it is not.
No, actually what happens, what is the definition of ordered in the given, right? Suppose you just assigning seat to the candidates, those are entering in a class, right? Okay, this first seat is dedicated to you, then second candidate entered, then you ask that you sit the second chair, then you are the
Mhm.
third candidate, you sit the third chair. Is it the definition of your order inside the previous code, like जो
Uh,
हमने
right, right,
लाइक लिस्ट में देखा और हमने सेट उसमें हम टपल में
correct.
देखा. We are calling the first element as 0, second element 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The same candidates are entering into the class, and we are assigning one chair to each, and they are having, so by their chairs number I'm going to assign their order, but it's not going to happen here. So first I enter the milk, I should recognize by index number 0, but actually index number 0 is assigned to 1.5. So children are now randomly stood up from the chairs, Now they change the position, respective positions. So now can I say the ordered,
No, no, it is not.
right? So this is
No.
definition of ordered here. सो इनिशियली में जो मैंने उन्हें ऑर्डर दिया था चेयर्स का, वो उन्होंने सब ने आपस में गड़बड़ कर दिया और वो सब उठ के खड़े हो गए इधर उधर, अपने मन मर्जी से बैठ गए. So that's a problem for me. And another problem is with the duplicate elements. Here I am having 1, 2, 3. So how many elements should I expect in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. तो what about the multiple part of it? अगर ये list होता तो वहां पे 8 elements होते. So it could have 8 elements, but rather we have only 5 elements, where are rest 3. So ये तो बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. सपोज इन योर रेलवे रिजर्वेशन यू हैव S8, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, S8. You are expecting, you are a driver and you are a TT in that train, and you are expecting S1 to S8. But here we are getting only S5, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. So you are surprising. Where are three entire bogies? They are disappeared. So that's a really tough issue when we are missing some data inside, right? So बहुत बड़ा
So,
issue
sir,
हो जाता है जब कुछ.
then, yeah. So, sir, then why we are using this if it is,
Yes,
why?
that's a good question. That's a good question, right?
Right.
So anyone can give answer. What's the use of this one? This set.
If we, maybe because if we want to select some few, like out of 10, we want to select only 7. There, if it is possible, then we can use this
Mhm.
maybe.
Anyone else? I want to hear from anyone else.
So the one more reason for using set is if the organization don't want duplicate elements. I mean, if they don't want duplicate elements, then they can use set. But if they use list and tuple, then they can get duplicate elements also. Maybe that can be the reason for it.
Yes. Suppose I want to arrange some transportation and looking at their destination only for my employees, so I'm just bothered about their employees. And also, if you look at this point, they are giving the like, suppose let me create one another list here instead of the characters and string. Let me give some integer values only. 2, then 4, then 7, then 11, right? Then let's say having 45, 78, 98, comma. Can you see the output of this second lunchbox?
Yeah.
So we have in a ascending
Okay.
order. अगर
Ascending.
आप suppose we need some like suppose some need we some looking for the transportation, right? You are starting a cab, right? So cab is starting from one location. This taxi is starting from one location, and it's looking for the like shortest path from source to destination, right? So 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 जो employees हैं, right? This should be shortest path from mall and then museum and then gallery, then hotel and park, right? Then park, then hotel, right? So drop my employees as per their need. But ये जो employees हैं, इन्होंने अपना डेटा जो फील्ड किया है, that's stored in a random position. Of course, कभी भी कोई एम्प्लॉय ये सोच के डेटा फील्ड नहीं करता है, या कहीं भी शीट में ये डेटा होके फील्ड नहीं होता है कि वहां पर उनकी कैब के बेस पे या उनको डिपार्चर करने के बेस पे वहां पे सॉर्टेड हो. या तो वो उनके हिरार्की बेस पे होगा, मैनेजर, सीईओ एंड एम्प्लॉइज एंड सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, टेस्टर, data engineer and so on. But if you are asking some distance from their home to means office to home, so it will give some value. And also their destination, their unique destination, कि employees बहुत है, so how many people are coming from Noida, I'm coming from Gurgaon, coming people from New Delhi, coming people from